Hello guys, this is a tutorial on how to set up a rotary table inside of Lightburn. Do note for your fiber laser, do note that it is helpful to have a CO2 laser as well to make a jig. You don't have to make your own jig, but it's a lot more practical, but you can also purchase these on the internet as well. So I'm going to walk you through real quick how to create a simple jig for your rotary table. So we're going to open up Lightburn, and you can either go ahead and create a file or open the existing file of what you're planning to engrave. In my case, I am going to engrave my business cards on the anodized aluminum. So you can either write down the size of your business card, or you can just copy and paste it, which I will do here. And then we can actually go ahead and get out of this. And then we're going to pop over to our CO2 laser in Lightburn. And we're going to go ahead and drop that business card. You just need the outline. Go ahead and drop that on there. And then this is probably going to be the most tedious part of the entire process, but it's not too difficult. So here in the center, we want to figure out hole placement on the top of your rotary table. So you're probably going to have to physically take a tape measure or calipers and measure out where the holes are that you plan to use to secure down the jig to the top of your rotary table. I would just recommend go ahead and grab some scrap wood and then just run some tests until you get all those holes aligned correctly, so we can secure that to the rotary tabletop. Once you have that set, go ahead and drop that on your workspace here. We'll make sure it's in the middle. And then to figure out how large you want the jig to be, it can be smaller or larger than your actual rotary table. You just want to make sure it's big enough to where you can fit quite a few of these business cards or the item that you plan to engrave around the inside of this circle. So I just went ahead and tossed in 12.75. I figured that would fit quite a few on here, and it should fit 8. So once you've got that, go ahead and click on your rectangle or the outline of the item you plan to engrave. Hold down the Shift key and select the outer circle of your jig. And we're going to pop over here to drop-down menu that says Arrange, and then we're going to go to Circular Array. Go ahead and click on that, and it's going to pop this up. So you do not need to mess with any of the stop, start, step, none of that. The only thing you need to focus on is your copies right here. So just use these toggles. The main thing is you probably want to figure out how many you can fit on there without them overlapping. So you do not want overlaps. So we're going to go down to 9. Nope, still overlapping. So let's go to 8. And that looks perfect. None of them are overlapping. So let's go ahead and hit OK. And then you have all these business cards, all 8 of them, perfectly arranged inside the outside of your jig perimeter. So now that you've got that set, I would just go ahead and save that, apply your cut settings, and go ahead and run this on your CO2 machine. And then make sure you save this, because you can use this in the future. Say you want to do some challenge coins, you can just put a circle here and then do the same process. Highlight it, highlight the circle, and then figure out how many you can get around the perimeter without overlap. Okay, so go ahead and run that, get that made, and then go ahead and screw that down to the top of your rotary table. We're going to get out of this, and then we're going to go to our fiber laser in Lightburn and go ahead and open the file that you plan to use. In this case, we're using my business card as an example. And then take your business card, and now that you've got your rotary table attached to your fiber laser base and you've got the jig attached to the top of your rotary table, go ahead and hit frame, and then you're going to want to align the framing tool with the first spot on your rotary jig on the rotary table. So make sure that lines up. You're going to probably have to take this and you're going to have to move it right or left, up or down until you get that perfectly centered. Then once you have that centered in that first slot, then what you're going to do is come up here to laser tools and then go ahead and hit repeat marking. And then this pops up. So you don't need to change that. What you want to focus on first is how many slots do you have on that jig? And if you remember, I have 8 on mine. So let's go ahead and hit 8 and then hit calculate. And that's going to change my degrees here, and that's going to tell my rotary table how far to spin between each card. Now, let's say you want to only do 3 business cards on your table. You don't want to actually do all 8 of them. You can do that by going back and lowering this to count of 3, but you do not want to hit calculate. If you hit calculate, that's going to tell your rotary table to actually move 120 degrees each time it moves from each spot, which will be incorrect. So back up here, we'll get this to 8, calculate to 45, and then you can go back and you can lower this to 3 or 2 or however many you want to do. And then you go ahead and hit start. And I'm going to show you how that looks now. Alrighty guys, so here's my setup. I'm going to go ahead and I'm just to show you guys, we'll do 3 of these business cards. So I have gone through here, I have checked that my framing is correct. You got the red lines going around the outside of my business card, and my height is set. So I'm going to go over here to laser tools, repeat marking. We're going to go ahead and do 3, and then all you have to do is hit start, and this is what that's going to look like. It's going to rotate, and then automatically does the second. And then of course, when you guys put your rotary table on your platform, just try to get it so, you know, the business card that you're engraving is going to be kind of like right underneath of where that laser head's at. It just helps for a better engrave. Then it's just going to go ahead, it's finished, and it rotated back to the first position. Alrighty guys, well, thank you for watching. I hope this helps. If you have any questions, drop those down in the comments. I would be happy to answer any questions that you have. Thanks for watching. Good luck guys.